Hello YouTube world. Did you think I forgot about you? Oh no. But I've got a little story to tell you. Those of you who follow the channel, a handful of you that follow the channel, will hopefully have already realised that I've mentioned about having autism, and I am autistic and I have ADHD. One of the unfortunate aspects, there's lots of plus sides of those things that's going to help me build this car, is helping me build this car. But one of the downsides is it's quite common for autistic people to suffer with anxiety problems, which is something I do, and when it happens to me, I then end up quite often, the anxiety causes depression, which turns into what's called autistic burnout, which basically means you're just absolutely knackered. And that's what happened to me in the spring. Various things all at the same time. The spring is very busy for work for me because obviously where I work, motorsport stuff, so it's a very busy time in the spring. Then on my Exo Booster kit car, the big end blew on it, which I decided not to try and fix myself this time, which was nearly 4,000 quid bill. My camper van also failed its MOT because of a bypass to the EGR. And I had a hell of a job finding anyone who would fix that one for me. And with a few other things going on, life things, it just all spiraled on down, and all I could do for a month or two was just keep my business going, which is obviously the most important thing. This car had to take a back seat. Once that was kind of, things started getting better by kind of mid-August. I was also then lucky enough to have, well, not lucky enough, I got the Exo Booster engine back, got all that all together, which takes an incredibly long amount of time actually to put that engine in. Not so much putting the engine in, it's connecting all the stuff up. Just takes forever. And once I got that done, I was doing some of the Sporting Bears Dream Ride stuff and just trying to be what they call good to myself. Not pushing myself, making sure that I was getting better and not worse. Anyway, here we are. Been umming and ahhing about what to tell you people about this, but as part of my whole reasoning for this channel, you may not know, is I'm trying to be an autistic advocate. So people who don't know much about autism or ADHD, but are interested in cars, maybe when I'm talking about car stuff, might learn a little bit about ADHD and all that kind of stuff as well. So this is, I think this was supposed to be like June update. We're rather late because we are winging our way towards November at the moment. But I'll give you a little update of what I have done, because I haven't been doing nothing out here. I didn't get out here for probably 2 months, but I have been out here for a bit in September and October. And of course the converse with my business, come the autumn now, things do quieten down, which means I have a bit more time that I can, like today I did a morning doing some 3D print design of some stuff for carts, and then this afternoon I can get out here. So here we go. I'll give you a little show around what I've done. So why do I always do that? Why do I start sentences with so? God knows. Right, observant people amongst you, can you see? Can you see what's changed? Spot the difference. I've just put steering column in, so I have a steering column mounting bracket. As I've said many times before, I'm trying to make sure everything is as adjustable as possible. So the mounting bracket, instead of being welded in, is bolted in. Can you see that? Bolt there, and we also have another hole there, so I can move it forward and back 20 mil. And also the mounting bolts there we have, God, I tell you what, people are going to moan. I had somebody comment on the video about something about the van, telling me it looked like I'd filmed it with a potato. Wow, hopefully this person's not watching this, because they're going to really be impressed. So you can just see there, look, so we've got a hole there and there, so I can move the rack up and down 20 mil and forward and back 20 mil. The idea being is I can get it in the best position possible for minimizing the bump steer, and then just adjust the heights of these a little bit onto the whatever these lever arm things are called for the steering, to make sure we've got minimum bump still. And then whilst we're over here, you may notice, so this is a sort of temporary bolted together at the moment. So this is the steering arm with 3 holes in, again for adjustability. This is a standard smart car steering rack. So this is about the normal. That's a bit closer in and that's a bit closer again. By moving this along, I give myself more leverage, so it changes the ratio of turns on the steering wheel to how far out this goes. Now, obviously, I can't tell for sure, but whilst it's here, it would appear that comparing wheel angle to a normal car, that on full lock on that one is about the same as a normal car. On that one is about the same as my Exo Booster, and on that one is probably going to be about the same as a cart. But, and what else do we have? We had suspension. Look at that, push rod suspension. I know those look awfully thin around the bottom there, these rocker arms, but where they're thin thickness, I've widened them out quite a lot with extra bracing along here. And can I demonstrate? Let's just see if I can do this one-handed. There we go, suspension. See if I can film this and do it at the same time. Yeah, so up and down. It's given me about 10 centimeters of suspension. As you'll notice, got holes here and here, and here and here, so that will change the ratio of the, what do they call it? Oh, it's a wheel something ratio, but it's just basically, it's the ratio of how much far that moves to how far you push the shock up and down. With my fag packet maths, I reckon I need about a 2-to-1 ratio. So for every 2 this goes up, the shock goes down 1. But it will be very much a trial and see. And with these different holes, I can go from a ratio of about, I think it's about 1 to 4, all the way to about 0.8 to 1, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. Okay, so that's those done. I've done a little bit of bracing here because the rear suspension mounts were just sort of kind of floating in air, and now I know what space I've got. We've got a nice bit of brace there and a bit of brace going forward, which should make that nice and secure. I'm probably going to add some kind of brace in the middle as well, but I haven't quite made up my mind yet. I might have a piece coming down here, or I might have a piece going up to these centre bits. I might even have both as belt and braces, but right, so what else? We've got steering column held in with cable ties. I got an eBay bargain actually. Look at this. We've got a nice pedal set with balance bar. Wait for it. Yeah, that was £100. Brand new. What do they call it? X something stock. You know, end of line stock. Wow, I'm quite impressed. You know, it's obviously on the cheaper end. I think that's great. So I've just been thinking about a position for that as well. Again, I will probably mount these so as I can move them forward and back a bit to give myself maximum adjustability. Same with the seat. I'll probably put the seat on seat runners. I haven't made up my mind on this one yet. It may well be I'll do the same thing. I have runners until I settle on a position and then bolt it straight in. I don't know. I'll have a think. Right, what's next? I should show you. So these are the MX5 rear uprights. I've modified these so I can run, depending on where you are, a rose joint, or I think the Americans call it a Heim joint, I don't know. Anyway, a rose joint on there, which will be Y and Y, and then connected on the bottom. It'll be rose joints all round. This here allows adjustability for camber, and on that one there I'll have it adjustable so as the toe can be done. And I've made a little bracket, so I've got a little bracket here. I've got this very strange looking thing. So basically the idea being is I will mount this in the correct position, so the correct height, and obviously the correct position forward for when the engine's here. And I would kind of use it, instead of making a jig, I will kind of make it to fit. I suppose this is very old-fashioned engineering, really. It's sort of thing you can do with a one-off. Obviously you wouldn't do this if you're planning on making more than one, because it's, you know, it's an okay way of doing it for a one-off, but pretty inefficient if you want to make more than one. Anyway, so that is where I am going next. So hopefully this little update is enthused you. I don't know, whatever the hell it's supposed to do. And hopefully you maybe, I don't know, understand a little bit more if somebody in your life is autistic and they talk about burnout. It's pretty horrible, I've got to say. You know, I wouldn't ever say it made me suicidal. It wasn't that bad, but I did kind of, you know, I was sleeping and sleeping. I'd be up for, like, sleep all night, get up, do a few hours work, I'll be asleep for 3 or 4 hours again, and that kind of feeling of just kind of, you know, go to sleep, don't wake up. That wouldn't have, you know, and it sounds daft thing to say, go to sleep, don't wake up. I'd have woken up quite happy that way. I know, doesn't make sense, does it? But you know, hopefully you know what I'm on about. Things are much better now, but the point I'm trying to make is if you have someone in your life, you know, mental health is, I don't know, sort of a bit of a thing at the moment, isn't it? And I'm certainly not trying to jump on that bandwagon, but I am trying to share with you that people with autism and ADHD, sometimes these things affect us a bit differently. Our brains are wired differently from, well, they reckon it's about 5% of people are neurodiverse. Autism and ADHD are covered in that. And our brains are wired differently. We see the world in a different way. We react to things differently. Different things give us stress. Different things give us anxiety. So, you know, just be a bit easy on somebody if they're, you know, kind of suffering with things. Just because it doesn't worry you or make you anxious or depressed or burn out or whatever else, doesn't mean it's not going to them. Anyway, that's the lecture over. Please be kind. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to everyone around you. And I'm trying to be kind to me. And I will try and make another video in a month or so, which hopefully, as I'm going to be out here quite a lot, maybe canoodles done, or whatever the expression is. So, catch you later. Bye. Got to do the YouTubey thing, didn't I? Please subscribe. Please like. Please hit all the buttons across the bottom. Except for that thumbs down one. People that do that can, quite frankly, fuck off. I don't know why people bother doing that. If you get to the end of the video and didn't like it, then anyway. Yeah, so please do all those things. The channel's up to sort of 600 and something odd subscribers now. You know, it still would be nice to make the channel work.